Do you want to have the shooting confidence so much that you do a spin shot up and under and one? Or how about you're hitting so many fades that you get him looking silly with this up and under? How about a spin fade that no one's ever seen before, that they're dumbfounded? So much so he thought you missed and jumped again. Even got this dummy here sitting here jumping constantly because you're hitting everything. And just spin into him because you got that much confidence. How about overtime? Just so confident that you're ready to hit this spin jumper right here. Or hey, even if you mess up and you think he's gonna jump, I'll get you out of it. All this and more with our hand cam tutorial. I want to get into another thing real quick. So this is the actual controller that I use. A lot of people were saying whenever we were going to start doing rhythm shooting, the sticks and the controllers we were going to go through. So of course I invested into this. Now granted, the funny part about it is this is $50 for a wired controller with hell effect sticks compared to a $60 Bluetooth wireless, Xbox controller. So I got the sticks that I would need to utilize rhythm shooting and not going through an entire controller like I did last year, right stick shooting. And we'll get into a couple cool features about this. So it's able to do 1,000 hertz. You can do 250, 1,000, or 500. Of course, the microphone doesn't work if you do that. Then you can map any button that you need to. At any point, you can test your stick drift. If you want that hair trigger for, if you have any shooting games. And the vibration as well, for whatever you might need that for. Alright, so I call this the rocker animation in triple threat, flicking left stick down and to the right with the left pivot. And of course you got a few jab animations that you can do. So you want to hold both triggers, pushing right stick to the right and then to the left to finish that rhythm shot. There's a few animations out of this, so be aware. So again, right stick down and to the right again to get a step back. This is after getting our pivot in that rocker animation. Alright, so out of that same pivot, this is the ungodly spin step back. There's two ways to do it. Here you actually have your left foot forward and on the right pivot. And of course out of that same pivot, you got James Harden like step back if you have the right stick and flick it down into the right. So another way to get that ungodly step back, it's the main way that I knew the first time, but it's not as consistent because as you all saw the previous animations. But you can still get it out of that animation. Alright, so next thing we'll get into is, I call it the floater fade. You're actually going to pull both sticks back to trigger their animation. There's a couple animations that go out of that. You'll have the dirt quick floater, and then you have this almost looks like he's just throwing it up kind of deal. Another good deal I've found and haven't used much yet is a protect ball. It's almost like a run out with a few animations. You got that dead ball zone, so I'm not able to use it too often because of the post up, and the only way to trigger these is holding right trigger. Alright, so next is our post hop shots. There's two ways of doing this. You can double flick in the same direction, or you can hold left trigger and right trigger and do your normal direction just like you would a normal fade. Of course, you also got step backs that you can do, same kind of deal. And then there's also another dirt post hop shot or whatever, if he's going to the right, but it's really slow. Don't use it too often. Alright, this is what I would consider my most patented move. It's kind of the Dirk step through. It's also going to help you draw fouls. It's what I would use with Hall of Fame whistle last year. This year I'm still able to draw fouls, but not as consistent on making the shot after the foul. But it's a good way to get started, get a rhythm, if you're not making those first few shots. You want to make sure that you're watching the pump fake, because I will show you here in a little bit, there's a couple different pump fakes, and if you're not doing, like, there's like almost like a quick fake, to where, you know, you just do a shot creator thing, but there's also the true fake. And of course, if you try and do what I'm doing right now with kind of the step through, but I do it with a quick fake, all it's going to really do, as you see here, is it's going to end up doing a jumper. So you got to really be careful. And as I'm doing a fake, it's just like I was doing those step throughs with fades. Do the fake, let go, and then do a step, and at the same time I'm using the left stick and the right stick at the same time. As you see here, that was a quick fade, and if I tried to jump or try to do the step through, I was going to do a regular shot. So I was doing a few jabs as far as fakes to kind of show you the difference. There's a lot of animations that can come out of this, going left, going right, stepping straight forward. All that's determined by your left stick after the fake. Alright, so the next thing that we got is our shimmy fades. This takes 3 inputs. You're either going left, left, or right, left, right, within the rhythm of the shot. And of course, depending on where your pivot is, will determine the animation that you get. Another thing to talk about, it's something that Kevin Cruz brought up in one of his YouTube videos, and I'll have this link in the description. But it's kind of like a spin into a step back. I haven't done it too often because you'll see, you know, crazy animations like that if you don't time it exactly right. We'll go through a few animations on what can happen. This one I think is a lot better because I'm kind of going linear rather than horizontal. Do a little step back there. To me, if you get that kind of gather after a spin, you're not really going to get anything good. I've noticed if I try and spin to my right, screen-wise, I don't really get that good animation. The best one I've gotten so far is where I'm spinning to the left around, rather than, like you'll see here, I spin around and I get a little step back. To me, that'd probably be the one move I would use. Alright, so next we got spin shots and how to do them here. You gotta be careful with it. I don't know the exact what causes it. So I got spin shot here, but sometimes you'll actually see where I get the little pivot, like right here. I don't know exactly what's causing it. I don't know if it's because I'm going more towards a corner here instead of straight. And then of course also you'll have a spin layup. I noticed the animation, so I stopped and it did a pull-up fade. So it's all about watching those animations, knowing what can happen, so it's a lot of practice. And of course next, after you master, you know, you're hitting that a lot, what's the next that you can do? A little Dirk against the Thunder, a little pump fake step through, rhythm shooting and everything. You can literally rhythm shoot anything, any up and unders or anything like that. Some of them are pretty hard to time. And of course you got layups, so it's being able to tell the difference between a layup and an actual shot. You'll see I still do it sometimes where I end up making an acrobatic shot rather than a true layup, simply because I thought it was going to be a shot. And I think it's mostly just the distance, how far you're out. And also, of course, make sure you're using the left stick to kind of like point where you actually want to go after the fake, as well as your right stick. And let's say you try and do a pump fake, but he's actually sitting on that up and under. You're going to actually do a double fade, so to speak, pulling back on that stick. There's a few animations out of it, so again, the more practice you get seeing that animation, being able to time it when you see the animation coming. And of course, like I said, you can literally rhythm shoot out of everything except for hook shots and layups. So of course I'll end up showing you here, you actually can do shimmy fades, and then getting into those pump fakes into another shot or an up and under. It's super hard to time because literally you're talking like 5 or 6 inputs when you think about it. That's all I got, guys, for the controller tutorial. Make sure you check out these videos here. I will be trying to upload a lot more coming this week. Got one for starting five, state of post scoring. I even did that strikeout event with complete randoms. I'm not going to say I went the best, but I did it.